A game here between 2 versus 5 in the standings. We'll see which team can keep their streaks going, if Pirates and Pyjamas can keep their win streak going, or if Timeless will be able to go back to a 4-2 record and tie up their records at 4-2 apiece. We say aloha, friends, and welcome back inside of the booth. Klutchki alongside Nerdy Bird with you here. And actually, last game we talked about where Nerdy Bird has a little bit of a thing for Pirates and Pyjamas. This time around, kind of flips to the other foot, doesn't it?
A little bit. This bias is very personal in favor of Timeless. Clear, who currently plays for Timeless, also plays for the team I retired from, which is right here where I'm casting. He's currently a Bronco and is one of our DPS players, does play on tank sometimes, but today he should be playing on tank for the side of Timeless.
Yeah, so shout out to Doc and the rest of the crew at Boise State right now. That's where Nerdy Bird is broadcasting from right now. In the meanwhile, here Pirates in Pyjamas and Timeless about to go at it, 2 versus 5. And let's actually go through their entire schedule here. We'll start this off with Pirates in Pyjamas at the top of your screen right now. Again, they've been on a good streak so far. The only big loss that they've had was against Afterlife, who right now is in the number 9 position. They would lose to them 3-2. Meanwhile, their other wins include Good Boys 3-1. Rather, that is Amplify winning 3-0. Worldwide 3-0 as well. And the game you just saw right here on the PIP page, which is against Rift, they won that 3-1 in a very good 3-1 series at that. Meanwhile, Timeless, though, had a little bit of a different pathing. As you see, they took on Dragon Dance, would win that one 3-1, would take on Strix. And by the way, if you have not seen the VOD of Timeless versus Strix, please go watch that, because that is one of the best games you will watch, especially that ending, that one of the greatest endings in Contenders you will ever see. But again, they would lose that 3-2. Meanwhile, Wisp, a 3-1 victory, as well as Saints, a 3-1 victory there as well. But the game we just saw over on the Timeless OW stream, that would be a loss to O3 Splash 3-2. So right now, Timeless looking for a win to go back into the 4-2 record. Meanwhile, Pirates in Pyjamas looking to go to a 4-1 record. And speaking of other games that are going on, in fact, there's a lot of other games that are going on still in round number 6, and some very important ones in the standings as well. Afterlife and Worldwide, this is a match you want to watch as well, because those are both teams. Worldwide still, again, searching for one of their few wins. Meanwhile, Afterlife trying to get in to the top 8, because, again, top 8 move on to the playoffs. Other than that, some other good matches as well. Good Boys versus Wisp. That is a 4 versus 6 game going on right now. Strix and Saints look like a pretty good matchup at a 2-2, and Saints at a 4-1 record going on right now. Meanwhile, Amplify and Rift right now is kind of sitting all along that 8-10 borderline. So some very good matches there. And then, of course, we go into the full standings now for either side. And we were talking about the matches and the standings going on right now. O3 Splash still the only team that is undefeated at a 5-0 record with that +7 map differential. But again, map differential isn't everything, but Pirates and Pyjamas owning the map differential score right now at a +9 with a 4-1 record. Again, the only loss losing to that Afterlife team 3-2, but they are owning the +9 map differential right now. Meanwhile, the only other team right now at a 4-1 record. Timeless, though, 3-2. Good Boys 3-2 right now as well. So Timeless looking to see if they can get up in the standings a little bit, or Pirates and Pyjamas can keep getting inching closer to O3 Splash right now. So lots to play for here on either side. And actually, if you want to go check out any of the other games going on right now, plenty of other streams to go through. In fact, I believe there's like 4 or 5 of them going on, but mainly the 3 of them right now. Timeless as well as Pirates in Pyjamas you're watching right now. Meanwhile, so you can watch Rift OW2 with Time to Light and Twin Salty taking you on with Rift and Amplify. In the meanwhile, that O3 Splash stream still going on right now with Darth Naku and Hyper, so you can go watch that on that O3 Splash channel as well. So let's bring it back here with us right now for the Contenders versus Pirates in Pyjamas. And actually, you can see it on that screen right now. The change, O3 Splash taking on Dragon Dance. So that is actually going to be with Potulum and Biscuit. Again, check that out on the O3 Splash site. Meanwhile, we're back here inside of the booth for you for this first game up, or rather, I should say the second game up, round number 6 going down, which means we are headed back to the Antarctic Peninsula for map number 1. That one's guaranteed. That one's already preset in stone. But for the Antarctic Peninsula, I guess a map that isn't really chosen, so they have to preset it in stone, but rather the newer map of Overwatch 2 so far. And for the control, some very interesting maps, might I add.
Honestly, the feedback I've heard from players with regards to Antarctica is they either love it or it is a blatant hatred of it. Some people said it's too similar to the way the Halo maps are built, which I found kind of strange, because I still feel like Antarctica, unless you're a flanker, is very boxed in. There is pathways that you can take, but again, like I said, unless you're a flanker, they're not really gonna give you too much of an advantage. Also, just kind of looking at some of the history here, Timeless has performed well when it goes to the Antarctica Peninsula map. Have to wait and see how well Pirates and Pyjamas perform. it looks like we are going to have Chronic on the Sojourn coming out for Pirates and Pyjamas, as opposed to Wub, who's going to be pulling out that Hanzo. Other than that, everything is borderline the same. Wub going TP. It's going to TP their team out first, so we'll see if perhaps Timeless he swaps off and goes Tracer, or swaps off goes Sojourn, or back to Hanzo. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, the Symmetra pick is only for the TP. Really, we'll see if they go off, and they go for the Hanzo instead. Chronic is and by the way, if you're just joining us, folks, Chronic is one of the players you want to watch out for. It's been absolutely nuts on the hit scan so far. Go back to the Widowmaker on Circuit Royale, third map for them against the Rift team, so want to watch out for it. Meanwhile, it's a little bit of a stuck situation. Strider's able to get out of it. Kupa, though, falling so low, but Kupa's able to find their way out with the Nemesis form blocked for right now. First one on point right now is going to be Pirates in Pyjamas. Just holding on, might be able to get the flip on them, but this is a split team right now. Their Rots are in front, but it doesn't really matter when you're pitching them out. This probably is a pinch maneuver right now, as Strider just having to fall all the way back. Timeless want to win here. Timeless needing a win to go up 4-2. Sisters may have got to the kill, but that's all they're going to get. Timeless is going to be in command. First point.
Hanzo, when you're playing this Brawl composition, is allowed to kind of just go do what he wants, and that's the same thing that Sojourn also provides. It's just the amount of pressure that can be given at any point in time tends to favor the Hanzo a little bit more, especially if you're confident in landing those shots. Your Baptiste just needs to give you a little bit of care when you're playing Hanzo, and you need to tell your team when you're in position to take the off angle, and your team has to be, you know, talking back and forth. Support to be telling their tank when they can go forward, and when their tank can go forward, that means you go swing the off angle and you apply pressure.
Swinging around to a different angle now as they have the wall to block off the Hanzo right now. These Storm Arrows are going to chase that off. There is going to be an application matrix used by Scuff, kind of just deters them for a little while. That's all it basically is. But it keeps the percentages going at 30%. So a regroup situation now for Pirates in Pyjamas, who have their own application matrix ready to use, which they will do so. And right on the shield of Kupa, who's in a lot of trouble with the wall. No healing coming to him either. A big wall for that. Traps Kupa inside of play. The Lucio can only do everything but get out. So now the Lucio is just so much trouble. With Chronic just chasing him to the ends of the earth. And 50% here, use of the Cryo Freeze just to hold on, but it's not going to be for much longer. The man will go down, and it'll be Pirates in Pyjamas to get the flip.
I think Sobek thought they might have made it out, and he was like, yeah, I got this. Gets to the pillars, about to continue the rush back towards spawn, and Chronic said no.
Nope.
That was painful to watch.
Yeah, support mains look away, Lucio mains look away. You weren't going to escape from Chronic there, but Chronic already up to 92% in the ultimate. Blizzard's available as well on either end. Well, has that Dragon Strike. A lot of available ultimates on either side, but might be the difference maker if Sobek drops the sound barrier earlier on. Zolik already to 90% of their ult as well. Blizzard's first coming out from Doom. Sisters as well, both throwing out their Blizzards, but a lot of low health bars here on either end. And Strider's actually falling so low, but somehow still stays up in time for
Holy
Zolik to
cow.
drop the sound barrier. And now Sobek will drop the sound barrier to no avail because the Annihilation is going to do absolutely nothing. Chronic's going to hit 2 people, and the rest are going to fall. And Pirates in Pyjamas getting the team kill will take the lead.
So one thing I've heard some Lucio people echo in the past to me is if you beat a male, a puppy dies. And so I was sitting here waiting because Sisters, you know, popped the male. I was like, oh gosh, Sobek is, you know, a couple % off of that beat. Are they going to beat immediately or wait till the Blizzard dies down? Wait until it died down, but unfortunately, just the amount of pressure that was being applied just wasn't enough, and Sobek's team got deleted. So going into this next fight, we have only window on both sides. Everyone hit Q except for the Baptiste in the last fight. So window v window. Both are popped. Now it comes down to who has the better angle. It looks like Wub did not have the better of the angles. They go down first.
Yep, Chronic gets the first pick. In fact, gets the second one through the window with a secondary railgun shot, and this is looking really good for Chronic 3. Maybe they're leaving it for the 3K for Chronic. No, they're just going to stagger out the Baptiste. And a very good play as well, because look, 85%. You've only got Strider, you've only got C-Man left, and now, or rather, I should say Scuffed and a couple left to go, but Scuffed is now gone. You don't have a Baptiste anymore, and now 94%. Somebody's got to find a way to touch. It's going to have to be the Tracer or the Lucio that are switched over here. Doom switches on over to the Tracer, more of a desperation pick, if anything. No ultimates online, either side, a completely dry fight, if you will. But Doom goes down very early on, and now Kupa's just going to have to try to punch away the rest, but Kupa's health falling so low. Sobek goes down in the hands of the Nemesis form, and Pirates in Pyjama completely in command after giving up 53%. They get the rest of the 100, and they win on the Icebreaker up on the map 1-0.
That stagger on that Baptiste was so well done. It is always tragic to be the one teammate that does get staggered. It's not anyone being toxic or anything. It's the name of the game. It's a very, very valid strategy to use, especially if you're staggering a tank or you're staggering the flex support in that instance, like the Baptiste. Bap was trying to rush over to the side and delete themselves by going off the map, but Lucio staggered him a little bit longer and got a little bit of extra ult charge. It's always tragic to see. It's just the name of the game. Someone's going to be picked out at some point. It just so happened to be the Baptiste in that instance.
Yeah, unfortunately, something had to give there for Timeless, and Pirates in Pyjamas taking right advantage of it, so they're both going to look to be TPing out. I'm suspecting that both maybe Tracer or something of the sort here, and that's going to be a Tracer on either end, so Scissors and Doomed both going to a Tracer line, and we're going to have Wum and Chronic on the Hanzo as well, so this will be interesting. But the tank differential, however, Cuffa now on the Winston, seeing if maybe that Nano Winston will help them out, but in fact, they try to dive right on in. Somehow, someway, Chronic's able to escape with their life. That's a lot of damage down on the Cuffa as well. Cuffa also finds a way to escape. So Cuffa back with the rest of the team. Back to a dry 5v5. And already Z-Man up to 33% on the way to an ultimate. First one on the point, though, is going to be Pirates in Pyjamas. They already have two people on point looking to flip. Tracer looking to contest for right now, but off the point. Here comes the rest of the team in the back line. There's Cuffa trying to dive right in, but does not have the bubble to protect him at all. And actually, the Nemesis form going through the shield as well. So that's a lot of damage being poured out. Pirates in Pyjamas in command for right now. They get the first flip, but will they be able to hold it on much longer? No picks have fallen yet. Cuffa still falling oh so low, is able to get back with the rest of the team. And Scissors now having to use the recall. Same thing with Doomed on the back line, but Pirates in Pyjamas kind of in control for right now.
This Tracer 1v1 is very intriguing. It's
Yep.
Because no extra pressure is being applied, these Tracers are just going to be going at it, both of them for a hot second. Just a support might give a little bit of healing here and there, but that's about it. Pulse is used, recall force for Doom. What goes down to Chronic, so the Hanzo on Hanzo aggression favored Chronic, unfortunately, and their follow-up pulse bomb from Scissor connects, gets the stick. Doomed gets deleted. Scuffed goes down to Chronic. Hanzo is walking the wall and going to the back line. And since we also see Brigitte get sent back to the spawn room. Oh.
Oh, staggered.
I'm so sorry.
Oh dear, Winton. Oh no. Winton staggered. Sag. Halfway through the time bank right now. Pirates in Pyjamas looking pretty steady. Has 3 ultimates in the bank, looking for 4. Meanwhile, Timeless only having a rally maybe at that, and then you're going to have a Primal Rage to use. So Pirates in Pyjamas with ultimate advantage. We'll see if they use that in their favor. 60% enrolling right now. They could end this right here, right now, especially if this fight is drawn out. No ultimates being used just yet. And Pirates in Pyjamas with 4. They'll use the Annihilation. Is bionated, though, so Strider has to back off of that for a little while. The rest of the team tries to back off. Whip shot tries to deter Strider, and Strider's Annihilation is now gone. Rallies used on either side. Jolik will start this off. Sobek follows. Cuffa falling down oh so low thanks to the Dragon Strike, but does in fact go into the Primal Rage. Doesn't matter. Strider's in your back line. Sobek's down, and now you have an Annihilation, or rather, I shouldn't say Annihilation, but you have a nano-boosted Strider, who's not even in the Nemesis form, by the way, is able to punch out Scuffed, and now we're into final fight territory, but Strider just finding names and taking them down onto the list. 93%. I don't think anybody else is going to be able to touch besides this Tracer right now. Doomed is the only one left alive that can touch and is touching to force the overtime clock. But for how long will they be able to survive? Lucio comes back into the point. Sobek is there. Sobek falls half. Doomed is down. And now this Lucio goes down. And I don't think anybody else is going to be able to get there unless you're Cuffa on the Wrecking Ball. But the Wrecking Ball a little too slow. And it's going to be Pirates in Pyjamas with a clean second point. And they're up in the series 1-0.
Looking at that second to last fight, when Brig popped that rally, I knew it was an oh no moment. And we have Jolik coming in with another play of the game. If you were here earlier, you know that this has already occurred twice, so I'm going to talk over a little bit. Nonetheless, it's another beat win. Hit that go button for your team. Let them claim some space, do some damage, and you play along with the cleanup crew. With that being said, when I saw that Brig hit that rally and Brig was by themselves, I knew that was an oh no moment and that fight was gone, because that meant Brig anticipated their Ana being with them, but Ana was playing for natural cover, which makes sense. You really, as supports, need to be playing around that. Instead, Brig was almost in the middle of catwalk and got deleted despite having that rally up because there was no support coming out from their Ana in that instance. It just comes down to the front-to-back communication and supports making sure they're on top of each other. Hopefully that gets fixed by the time we go into the second map, which is going to be hybrid. Both teams, I can definitely say, are warmed up at this point, so hopefully, it's just more smooth sailing from here on out.
Yeah, we'll see if it is any smooth sailing whatsoever for Pirates in Pyjamas, looking for the sweep, but they're only up 1-0 right now. Anything can happen at this point, and Pirates in Pyjamas know what it's like to be playing in long series. In fact, if you go throughout their history, they've only had one 3-0 series. That was against Worldwide. Same thing with Timeless. Not a single 3-0 on any of their records whatsoever. So these teams are in it for the long haul. Meanwhile, we go to the second map now, and the second map will actually be a hybrid. So 3 maps to go from Eichenwald, Midtown, or Numbani. Now, the last time a map was picked here for Timeless would be that last match against 03 Splash, and Timeless actually picked Midtown. Pirates in Pyjamas had picked Midtown earlier on after they lost Busan to Rift, and that looked pretty dang good for Pirates in Pyjamas. So Timeless has a little bit of an interesting pick coming up in their hands because they've got 3 maps to pick from, and Midtown gets very interesting if they decide to go there.
Hear me out. Timeless also has picked Eichenwald and been successful on Eichenwald. Granted, yes, they weren't going into a scary, horrifying hit scan like Chronic. It just, honestly, I think Eichenwald might be their best bet, especially if they want to go with the Winston composition. So, theoretically, in what I foresee is Eichenwald, and then they just really got to focus on their rotations, making sure Cart gets pushed to Archway, people take high ground, and do not let the side of Pirates in Pyjamas take over that high ground inside Castle once, main point has been locked down and we're into the escort phase of the map.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, it's going to be. We almost pretty much didn't see any escort phase to the map whatsoever last time. In fact, you go throughout the entire record here on both Midtown matches that we saw for both of these teams in round number 5. We didn't see a payload whatsoever. No fire truck came out of that station whatsoever. Either way, it was a point. It was a point taken. 1-0 in terms of the win for Pirates in Pyjamas. 1-0 for Midtown for Timeless against 03 Splash. So really, this could go any which way you want it to. Now again, Midtown, Eichenwald, and Numbani are all 3 of your maps. We were talking about how Numbani could very well be interesting because of that dive potential you have on Numbani, but we really didn't get to see that in this very first map. The only thing you could have said is Cuffle on that Winston probably signifies maybe more of a dive situation. Maybe they go Numbani here, who knows, but that dive situation really didn't work out for them earlier on.
Yeah, and if you have someone who's comfortable on Tracer who can go underneath who can go either underneath on the staircase towards the Mega Pack and go up to the corner, or take Coastline and come up around and deal with the supports who are going to be on that opposite back high ground, then yes, you can run Numbani, and that's totally fine. It's just, does your Tracer have the confidence to understand that their goal is not to kill anybody, their goal is to take attention, because attention is a huge resource, and unfortunately that means you have to know that there's probably going to be a Tracer marking you, and then you're going to have to go pull attention from 2 supports who are going to turn around. You might get slept, you might get shield bashed, and you need to make it up that staircase and over into the backline position without using your recall yet.
Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, we're going to have to find out. Meanwhile, one final score coming in late, and that was also another map 5 as well. Wisp and Strix finishing up. Wisp getting a win there 3-2. So standings actually shift just a little bit there, and you can see the final scores from round number 5 all wrapped up and said. Amplify losing to Worldwide, so Worldwide getting their win 3-2. Dragon Ants also falling down, though. They lose to the Saints 3-0, but Worldwide now on the board, so there is not a single team that is winless. Everybody else still on the board as well. 03 Splash still undefeated, but you saw that scoreline there. They would beat a Timeless team that time and time again has shown that they like to go the distance, but they are 3-2 right now with a +4 map differential. You can see them in 5th right now, and Good Boys only 1 map differential pick right behind them at a 12-9 map record. They are 3-2 as well. So Good Boys looking to see if they can upend Timeless in the standings right now, but we're still only halfway through. Remember, folks, there are 11 rounds to go through here. There are 11 matches to play in this round robin group stage series, so there is a lot to play for still. And when you get some of the good games out of the way, remember, Pirates in Pyjamas, their schedule kind of looked interesting as well. If you go throughout their entire schedule here, they went through Good Boys already. For Pirates in Pyjamas, interesting enough, they go through Good Boys, they go through Amplify, they go through Afterlife, and they go through some of the teams towards the bottom of the standings. They have a lot to look forward to in the latter parts of their schedule, because they still have 03 Splash, Saints, Wisp, and Strix to go through, which is a heck of a schedule in the latter parts and the last 4 rounds there. So that's going to be interesting to play. But we do now have confirmation on the map pick, and the next map coming up is going to be Midtown, and Nerdy has hands in head right now.
I do, because Clutch, come on, you're like, they have a lot to look forward to, and I'm sitting here like, you're meaning they're facing the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse in the second half of the round robin.
Putting it in a positive spin. It's a positive spin, why don't you, right?
positive spin, he says, as he
Yes.
mounts the pressure for how good you need to perform. There's no time for mistakes. If you screw up, you really are going to be down bad, so to speak. Nicely done.
Well, it's something to look, but hey, I mean, you've got a 3-1 record right, or rather, I should say, you've got a 4-1 record right now. Yes, you're going to get up against tough teams in the latter parts, but still, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see if they can get through that. If they can get through it, hey, that playoffs is looking way better for you than you think. So if you can get a few wins off there, kudos, and that's a lot of momentum. But let's get back into this game now. Again, next map coming up is going to be Midtown. So in fact, Timeless did go for the pick that they did get the 1-0 against O3 Splash on, but it's the same thing on the other side when you look at Pirates in Pajamas. They also go in 1-0 against Rift on Midtown as well. So we could very well be seeing more than just a fire station. We could see the fire truck being pulled out as well. But either way, both of these teams look really good on Midtown.
I am very scared for this. Honestly, I foresee it being we don't see any form of escort, or it's going to be the complete opposite, which is both teams are heavy on the attacks and are able to full cap all 3 points, and we see overtime. I don't really foresee an in between here. That's just what I'm thinking.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, let's see. Let's find out if your prediction is right or not, because, I mean, both of these teams really like this map. Obviously, if you stuck around with us from the very first game, we saw how Chronic just absolutely took over the map, especially with the Bob, especially with that Dynamite on that Ash. And again, from what you'll see here for the Pirates in Pajamas, if they stick to this composition, if you've been watching here, it's going to be the Ramontra on a Brigida, but the DPSs are going to line up basically to be that Ash and Tracer. Now, if they go off of that, that's a little bit of a curveball because Pirates in Pajamas have been so good with this composition, but on the other side of Timeless, you never know what they're going to pull unless you watch their stream earlier on, in which case, yeah, this is going to be a pretty dang close map.
And Pirates in Pajamas, most likely, they did not pick maps, so they get to pick sides. They wanted to start defense last time. They'll probably start defense this time because they do feel so comfortable on that composition and know how to play around it. They dealt with multiple ultimates getting dropped on their heads during the last time we saw them on Midtown, and the entire last series definitely demonstrated their discipline and their patience when it comes to their playstyle and understanding when they have gas in the tank and when they don't, and what they're able to do with what they have. So that definitely can give them a leg up against Timeless. It's just really going to come down to how much pressure they're able to avoid on the rotations getting to point, and then locking down and securing kills back to back without it stretching out too long, because when that fight gets long, the Pirates start to take back over.
Yeah, and this is gonna be very, very interesting. Like you said, we're either going to see 1 point or we're going to see the whole thing, and especially in hybrid mode, that could very well be the case. And if we get to that first point, if we get that first checkpoint, past the first checkpoint too, I mean, it's going to be pretty dang interesting to see how teams handle that underpass, how teams handle going underneath that huge underpass, which we'll get to see later on, if we get to see that later on. But first and foremost, got to get through point number 1. And for Pirates in Pajamas right now, they're sitting comfortably with a 1-0 lead. In fact, very dominant, only giving up 53% on Antarctic Peninsula, 53, all of which coming from Icebreaker sub-level, not a speck of dust on it. So Pirates in Pajamas sitting pretty comfortably right now, and their map record sitting at 15-5. Meanwhile, Timeless sitting at a 13-10 map record right now. But we head in to Midtown and the streets of New York back at it, especially for a close match like this. So if you're Timeless right now, what are you thinking? Because both of these teams are really good. Both of these teams look at a 1-0 Midtown. What are you thinking if you're Timeless right now?
If you're Timeless, I'm honestly get prepared to trade backlines, commit to a full dive, and apply pressure where you believe you'll get the most value. Instead, it looks like Timeless is going to be going with the Tracer Hondo combination with, of course, Kafa on the Ram. Pirates in Pajamas changing things up a little bit.
Well, I think
they're on attack this time, so this is similar to what we saw earlier. Most likely, Scissors is going to swap off that Widowmaker and go over towards the Tracer. Also, noting that when you attack first, it shows that you are very comfortable going against this other team and what you anticipate them throwing at you. Attacking first, you get, quote-unquote, an extra fight, whereas defending first, you have a higher chance of winning the map as a whole. That being said, I think Pirates in Pajamas are feeling very confident going into this first attack.
Mm-hmm. And Pirates in Pajamas, I think we saw Scissors on the Tracer first, but Chronic was on the Somber mainly to scout out, so that's going to be a scout switch back into the Ash as well. So pretty much Old Faithful at this point. Pirates in Pajamas, though, having Strider on the Winston instead. A couple on the Ramontra to trade that out. Pretty much similar teams on either end, though. Timeless having Wub on the Hanzo. Doom falling oh so low, needing to recall right away. Scissors falling to half health, but doesn't use the recall just yet. The heal up from Z-Man, who's already up this quarter of the way to the Nano Boost. Maybe onto the Nano Winston as well. 40 seconds gone, really no push up so far. The Winston will go right in. Great bio nade. That goes on to Kuppa. Kuppa has to back up immediately, needs immediate attention for healing. That's going to make sure that this Tracer 1v1 is still on, but Scissors goes away and looks away for right now. Nobody really entering so far, but now there's the Winston deep into the team. Trying to see if they can find any picks. Wub falls oh so low, but Wub gets immediate attention yet again, and Pirates and Pyjamas having a back.
One thing I need to point out, though, is right now we have Zolik with those discords, and then Z-Man, they're able to apply the anti-nades onto the tank, and that is putting a lot of pressure on Kuppa, which is forcing both supports to give Kuppa a lot of tender love and care. And unfortunately, Scuffed is going to get sent to the Shadow Realm first. Wub looks like they might be next. Never mind, it's going to be Kuppa. He's very low, doesn't have Nemesis. Chronic does go down to Wub. However, Tracer on point, Scissors is in the 1v1 duel, has line of sight with their supports. Tracer's recall is a force that this fight now favors Scissors. And it looks like that's going to be at least one, if not two ticks coming out now for our Pirates and Pyjamas.
Probably 2 ticks at the very least here. Nothing contesting. No, they're going to try for the 1 tick. Pulse Bomb goes a little bit wide off the run. Doom doesn't have anything to back up, though. Doom is gone. Immediately just melted away by the hands of the Orb of Discord. Dragon Strike goes down the middle, but isn't able to find anything for right now. Pulse Bomb there would have been excellent, but nothing doing there. They have the 2nd tick. Probably going to get the 3rd here because everybody falls oh so low, and that's a lot of X marks on there. Timeless falling all the way down. Doom is the only one that lives to tell the tale. The Pirates in Pyjamas, we finally see the Fire Shark out.
Can we talk about Scissors going left side through the small door and literally running through 4 people and pulling the attention of 4 and didn't die?
Yeah, I mean...
That is supreme Tracer play.
Absolutely. You're just poking at him, and then all of a sudden you're getting all this immense damage down. Pulse Bomb goes a little bit wide. A Nano Boost used onto Zolik just to maybe keep him up. Thought that maybe that Pulse Bomb had landed onto Zolik, but Zolik now Nano Boosted, so you don't have a Nano Boost for the Winston coming up here. And the only support ultimate you're going to have is Zolik with the Transcendence. Chronic throws out the Fob. That's going to go in the back line. Meanwhile, Annihilation out for Kuppa. Rather, the Nano Boost onto Kuppa, but Kuppa does not use the Annihilation just yet. Holds on to it. The Rally is out for Sobek as well. Some ultimates being thrown out here for Timeless, but it might not amount to much of anything. Now the Annihilation is out from Kuppa. He's going to chase down this Ashe, who's in a lot of trouble. Cannot use the gun to get away from them. Kuppa spawns 2 on the Annihilation, and all that's left is for Strider to go down and back to the spawn room.
I think Strider probably, after he went out and dropped the protection bubble down to try and help them get out, realized this was a mistake, and I just said, sorry, team.
Yep. Sorry, guys. That's it.
We're going in. Doom is going to get a little sneak, stay above, has Pulse Bomb, almost. Needs to poke to get a little bit more damage out, but Scuffed goes down first, caught out in rotation. Chronic, it's that Dynamite. I talked about it last map. Well, last match, the Dynamites apply so much pressure, and now Doom comes in. It's going to pick up 1, but Chronic picks up 2 right thereafter.
Yeah, Doom is able to find Z-Man as well, so that's a big healer down for you now. Unless you had lost more, Zolik is able to find Wub at the same token, so this push gets even forward. It's a big pick for you if you get the Ana down, but unfortunately spawn room's so close anyways that Z-Man can just get back into this. Now here comes the interesting part, because they leave 1 in tow, a 1 on the payload, but that payload now hits the underpass. Pulse Bomb gets thrown out, not able to find anything for Doom, but the payload now goes into the underpass. This is where the situation gets interesting, because high ground advantage still stays in Pirates and Pyjamas. 1 has to stay down below if you're going to take the space, but now that this payload is underneath the underpass, it's a great play here from Pirates and Pyjamas to go back up on top and see if they can win out this fight, because a win fight here most likely lands up as a 2nd checkpoint. There's just in your back line. Where's the Pulse Bomb? It's stuck, and it finds both of the support. Scissors yet again showing absolute dominance on the Tracer blade. 2 more kills fall. No chance for Timeless, in fact, to try to even play this one out, a team kill and add another 90 to the bank.
So you talked about this underpass area, which I totally get. It does become a choke point for a lot of people, but the composition that both teams have, it relies on Tracer halting or progressing the payload. In this case, Scissors, their job was to progress. Doomed, their job was to go duel out the Tracer. It's not really to confirm the kill, but it makes it so it's a nullified 4v4 on the team fight that's happening, as you're forced to commit someone to payload. You don't want it to be your Ana in that instance. Instead, it was Tracer, and then Tracer, Scissors realized, hey, okay, everyone's backed up into a tiny room. I have Pulse Bomb. I'm gonna hop off real quick and go get me a 2-piece combo.
Well, Dynamite's down, and you were talking about the Dynamite as well. This Dynamite is oh so good. Scuffed, in fact, having to invest in Nano Boost, but Compa now using the Primal Rage to get rid of Chronic. Bob's out of the same token. There's the sleep, plus the Shield Bash, and Strider's not going to have any fun whatsoever. Only 5 seconds left on the Primal Rage. Anyways, gets Shield Bashed yet again. Also gets Bionated, the standard tank experience, if you will. But the Primal Rage goes basically all for nothing here. Timeless putting up a fence for right now, but they're still going to continue this fight as if nothing had happened so far. They're going to try to dive right in. Jolik's able to find Doom on a headshot, and now they can just back them all the way up. Kuffa goes down, and a fight win here for Pirates in Pyjamas heading into the home stretch.
We have Wub 80%, I'm going to round up, on EMP. Scissors has another pulse bomb. You heard the voice line go out. Jolik is actually going to pick up Scuffed. The supportal comeback coming out strong. Zenyatta's part of the advantage of the kit, that Discord applies pressure, but Zenyatta is a killing machine. It's why they're very scary. And if you have one who's confident in protecting your backline, i.e. your Ana, you're in good shape. Wub goes down to Jolik. Doom takes out Z-Man, but Scissors comes in and takes out Scuff. Doom did pick up a 2-piece though, so follow-up 3-piece for Doom, who found Strider, and we're ticking down the last 90 seconds here.
Doom, both Tracers deciding, let's use that pulse bomb on the Ana. Both get a stick, both get a kill. So in the end, it trades out, but if you're trading out, you're liking the defensive side win there because the trade out actually favors that, and Doom finding Scissors in the 1v1 battle. So now Chronic switching on over from that Ashe into the Sombra instead. The Sombra's going to be very important here, but EMP-wise, only 60 seconds left to go. I don't know if Chronic has enough time to build up an EMP that's going to be very impactful. Wub does have the EMP available to them, also a Nano Boost, so a Nano Boost to Winston could very well turn the tide. Wub has the EMP available. Wub is only going to find, I believe that Z-Man that's only going to be caught inside of it, so nothing doing for that EMP. And in fact, Z-Man still has the Nano Boost available. Will Nano Boost to Winston, who jumps up top. Person translocated for right now, so Chronic can't rewind, and Chronic can only run away for so long right now, but the payload, still 30 seconds left to go, still off of it, nothing doing. Primal Rage is out, and Primal Rage is actually able to find Jolik, and right now, favor goes in favor of Timeless, but Kuffa goes down. Still though, responds in favor of Timeless. The Scuff is able to find Strider, and that's a big pick for you. 10 seconds left to go. You've got Chronic getting an EMP very quickly, might I add, under a minute. So that EMP is built up, and this could be very well good. And what's even better is you have a Pulse Bomb that lands up on Sobek. So it's a 5v4. There's a stick under the turning Tracer that could very well turn the tide. Doom lands it. That's huge for them. And now it's going to be ultimates being lined up everywhere you go. Chronic lands a EMP that lands up in 4, which means the rest of the Timeless needs to go back. Great final nade onto Scuffed as well. And Scuffed goes down, meaning the payload now into the home stretch. Final 48 hundredths of a meter. Doom goes down, and somehow, some way, Pirates in Pyjamas able to complete the map. They go uno, dos, adios, completing on Midtown. But my, oh my, what a close time back. They have no time left remaining.
If we do have Timeless cap all 3 points, Pirates on their second attack are only going to have a minute. With that being said, we saw the entire map this time.
Yes, we did.
It's a nice change of pace. Now the question is, are we going to see it again? Or are we going to be stuck staring at the garage door that is not going to raise up on Timeless's attack? Honestly, I was surprised by how many times we saw Wub swap heroes to try and play the counter game, which I totally understand that is, you know, the rock, paper, scissors of Overwatch, so to speak. But the scary thing was Chronic decided to say anything you can do, I can do better. And in probably a third of the time that it took Wub to get one EMP, Chronic got an EMP.
Well, I mean, here now for Pirates in Pyjamas, need to defend the side. Chronic onto the Ashe right now, pretty much going to be what you expect here, what we saw back last round, or I should say last time Pirates in Pyjamas was on defense, but bigger thing was they switched on over from the Ashe to the Sombra, so Pirates in Pyjamas getting some value out of that, especially with a quick EMP. They were only at 25, Chronic was only at 25% when they had the switch on over, but Chronic building up that EMP was super huge for Timeless, especially when Scuffed also got bionated at the same time. Scuffed not having a good day here on Midtown, but we'll get to see 4 minutes on the time bank here for Timeless, seeing if they can try to get all 3 points as well for their attack. Pirates in Pyjamas completing the map, but for Timeless, you would love to finish with over a minute on the clock to force at least, at worst, a draw.
We saw Doom take some early damage, Scissors next taking some early damage, so both Tracers getting poked at a bit. Wub trying to round out your taxi and head towards the Mega Pack. Manages to make it through and is not getting looked at. Scissors gets extremely low, cleaned up by Doom. Gonna poke in some damage into the train where the Brigida's at, but however, Brig kind of baited in everyone because Strider is there, however, Ana's left alone. This is the issue when Brig and Ana split up because your Brig is needed to protect your Ana. So Z-Man, they're back at spawn.
Strider, though, able to find Kuppa down, and a great Bionade onto Jolik, but Jolik somehow staying alive after all of that. They do get at least the first pick for them. Scissors, though, might be able to start the comeback. They get rid of Doom, and already it's going to be a backup situation. Dynamite just doing oh so much damage inside of that little room. That forces them all the way back. Gets 44% out of it, but that might be it as they have to back all the way up, losing one of their main healers, and Scuff going down at the same time means this fight is pretty much said and done. No more Ana means you have to back up a little bit.
Sobek goes down shortly there after Wub trying to get some extra damage out, but when your team calls a reset, you just need to int. The longer you manage to keep yourself alive, the worse off it is for your team in the long run.
Oh, but coming up right now, we got the Nano Boost available for Scuffed. You have Doomed with a Pulse Bomb too.
Scissors has Pulse as well, as does Chronic, and we've seen both Doomed and Scissors get nasty Pulse Bombs. We're going to engage with Bob as everyone tries to go for the rotation towards the Mega Pack. Pulse lands, but I believe it was on Brigida's shield, so it just drops it off and picks back up the shield. Tracer one-on-one. Looked like Doom was in the better position after grabbing that health pack, and recall had been forced from both of them. We hear Rally get popped by Jolik. Dragons is also going to be dropped by Wub. Still have Annihilation and Nano online. We see Chronic go down to Doomed inside Train. Time to give up a little space and re-engage when your gas tank's a little fuller. Kaffa realizes Ana's caught out, and we have Strider popping the Annihilation. Brigida all alone. Will you live? Your Ana's healing will be cut off with that shield. Tracer trying to pinch you off though, Strider. I think you're okay going against Doomed.
Yeah, Strider goes up against Doom, then Strider in the Nemesis form. It's Tracer v Rewancha. What do you expect here? But Kuffa's actually going to proc the Primal Rage here, and Sobek switches on over to the Lucio because they think they have a shot at this fight now. You get a kill onto Z-Man. Z-Man has the Nano Boost available to them, but they got to rush back if they want any chance at this. And also now the Pulse Bomb landing on top of Scuff. So that Primal Rage basically goes all for nothing here with only a minute left to go. Timeless needs to find an answer, but they have nothing on the board right now besides a tick.
One tick is something with a minute left. That's a decent chunk of time in the realm of Overwatch. However, the one thing they got to be careful about is going into this nano from Z-Man. Their nanos have forced out so many cooldowns from other teams, and Timeless in the past with the other team anticipating the nano to be in conjunction with the different ultimates. Scuffed is also very close to his ultimate as well. Doomed on that Tracer has another Pulse Bomb, so let's hope no one goes into small areas. Z-Man goes down to Wub with that headshot coming out from the Hanzo.
Yep, Wub finds the head of Z-Man executed there right away. Doomed trying to be a little sneaky with the Pulse Bomb. Has it available. Will he get to find a stick? It might not. No, too far away. A little bit wide to the left. So nothing there, but they're trying for another tick here. Strider is Bionated. Strider needs to back off for right now. Is able to use Nemesis form to get some of the armor back, some of the health back. Second tick is taken. Somebody's got a touch here if they want to try this. They do finally get the touch. Jolik is nano boosted at the same time, so now they want to fight this. Strider has an Annihilation available, but will not be able to use it. Now the overtime clock starts to bleed out, but it's looking good for Timeless to get the additional 2.5. But Scissors trying to turn this fight. Riley available on either side. Sobek will use theirs, Jolik will use theirs, Jolik uses theirs later on. So Sobek, you need to find something here, but Doom goes down. Doom takes down T-Man, Doom takes down Jolik, and finally 2.5 appear on the board for Timeless.
Whoa, hang on. It said point locked, and I'm 90% positive, of course, we're looking from player POV, not top-down POV, that Scissors was on point. Whatever, it happens all the time.
It happens. Ping.
Ping diff, who knows?
But, I mean, going into this next fight here, you've got an ultimate here for Wub, who has the Dragon Strike available to them. Chronic also having a bot. Strider also with an Annihilation. Strider Bionated though. Chronic is able to find a headshot on the Doom for right now, as just trying to see whether or not they can get this upper standard here. Annihilation is going to be used from Strider. Kuffa uses the jump hack, but it's not able to get away. Hits the payload, in fact, so Kuffa is just stuck here for a couple more moments. Decides not to use the Primal Range to get out, but is, in fact, able to escape with his life. Down to a minute 40 remaining. Chronic has the bomb still available to them. Might not decide to use it because right now it's a back-off situation. Pulse Bomb lands, stick. Strider's in trouble. Has the Bionade on him. Now has the Nano Boost available onto the Winston, who's going to chase down this Brigida. Brigida goes down to the hands of the Nano Boost, and now, oh, Z-Man in so much trouble. Cannot land the Sleep Dart either. Kuffa finds two. That's just an unfortunate situation, and it's going to be Timeless that's going to be able to win out this fight in the end, and they're going to be able to get some meters, in fact, as well. Oh, wait. Oh, Primal Rage having to be used, though, at the same time. Wow.
I understand why it was popped, because in that instance, Kuffa would have been deleted by the pulse bomb. It's tragic that it had to be, but their down supports, Timelesses, both of them were deleted in that fight, so it was better to keep the Winston alive so they didn't have to give up so much space, keeping frontline available. You disengage a little bit, but you don't have to walk back to spawn if your Winston's still alive.
Let's see, 40 seconds left to go. The Winstons are just going to go inside of each other's bubbles and just play around a little bit, just trying to poke each other for a little bit of damage. But Z-Man, the only one with an ultimate on the board so far. Actually, Doomed is gone, but Doomed can get back into this fight pretty quickly. Z-Man, again, having the nano boost could very well be the game changer here, especially if you put that on Strider. You're able to dive into the back line, and now you have Strider falling oh so low, but now needs to be nano boosted. Scissors is able to find Stovig in your back line. Final fight right here with only 15 seconds left to go. That nano boosted Winston doing oh so much work. Z-Man winning the mirror battle, but Strider takes this play of the game all mentally right now, getting that nano boost, and only 3 seconds left to go. Only person left to touch is Doomed, but Doomed it is for Pirates in Pyjamas, or rather for Timeless. It is going to be Pirates in Pyjamas going up in the series 2-0 on the verge of the sweep. And my oh my, what a map from them on Midtown, 3-1.
My favorite thing is when Winston's doing damage with just standard Tesla cannon, it's more like tickle tickle, and then gets nano boosted, and it's more like pins and needles and not being tickled by a little Tesla cannon anymore. Angelic again with the play of the game on Zenyatta this time, not Lucio, taking down the tank as well as helping out take care of Doom on that Tracer. Zenyatta, the support that primarily does damage.
Yeah. And so, I mean, right now, what a map there for Pirates in Pyjamas, up 2-0. The Midtown special, if you will, for Pirates in Pyjamas, who are now one map away from sweeping. In fact, going to a 5-1 record. Meanwhile, Timeless needing to reverse sweep this the rest of the way. No chance for a draw, no chance to extend this to map number 6. Because, I mean, right now you're taking a look at Pirates in Pyjamas. Again, match point, one match away from bringing out the broom from the closet. We will take a short break, and when we come back, we'll see map number 3. We'll see what Timeless has to pick for the escort map, because right now, Timeless on their heels. We'll take a short break. We'll be right back. Welcome back inside of the booth, everybody. Clutch G alongside Nerdy Bird here with you for game number 3 now, in round number 6. But for Pirates in Pajamas, looking at one more game to take the sweep. Meanwhile, Timeless needing a sweep of their own, a reverse sweep needed to take back their 4th win. Otherwise, they fall to a 500 record at 3-3. Pirates in Pajamas, one more map win, and they move up to a 5-1 record, sitting at 2nd place. And the next map, a little bit of a change of pace. Now, we have 4 maps available inside of the map pool for Ice Court. It would be Circuit Royale, Dorado, Route 66, Watch Point, Gibraltar. Now, Circuit Royale was the map last time for Pirates in Pajamas, but they don't have the pick. This time it's Timeless, and a little bit of a change of pace. It's going to be Route 66 coming up.
I mean, from what we've seen coming out from Timeless, while the Ramatra matchup isn't in their favor, the Winston does seem to be a little bit more in their favor, so I can understand wanting to go Route 66. Or if, they want to swap out the composition a little bit more, you can run the Wrecking Ball Tracer on this. So it opens up a little bit more dynamic options for team compositions as opposed to Circuit Royale, which is painful if you don't have snipers. So this is I think this is a safer bet when you're going up against a team that has such a strong hit scan player as we have seen coming out from Pirates in Pajamas.
And so Route 66, I mean, right now a little bit more of an open map. Same thing with Circuit Royale. The Circuit Royale had a little bit more of a height disparity, if you will. But for Route 66, staying on top of that Big Earl's gas station becomes also important, especially if you're Chronic. Chronic can hit shots, and especially on the 3rd map, Chronic was just hitting everything possible here back on Circuit Royale. So Chronic now we'll see on the Soldier, not on the Widowmaker, which absolutely popped off last time, but that'll be on the attacking side for right now. Defensively, though, Timeless going for a little bit more of a dive with that Somber, Winston, and the Tracer.
And I'd like to point out Jolik once again tried to do a little bit of a bait and switch, was on the
Lifeweaver.
Yeah, I was gonna say the other name, the memed version of it. Thankfully, I didn't. Goes to Bap, goes back to Brig. Really didn't expect anything else but Brig, so I was just kind of gonna start ignoring whatever the heck Jolik was on whenever we have Z-Man on the Ana. We do have Scissors going for Echo, which means some Echoes really like to get in the face of the enemies, but when you're playing with a Brigida, you're heavily relying around your Brig packs to stay alive, so playing around natural cover, your own cooldowns, and understanding enemy cooldowns is the name of the game for Scissors right now.
See how well they fare here. They're going to have the Echo for Pirates in Pajamas instead. I think this is our first look at the Echo, in fact, out of the 2 games that we've had so far. So Echo's going to be pulled out for the first time here, going to get a lot of sticky nades up onto Sobek, who somehow stays alive after all of that as well. Scissors falling low, but good support line keeps them up for right now, and this is going to be a dive right onto both of the supports, and that's what happens. Leave the Echo, leave the Winston. Everybody dives your back line. Everybody's trying to play up front, but nobody looks in the back. This is going to be a fight win here for Pirates in Pajamas, who's going to get it around the first turn.
If that fight didn't go in favor of Pirates in Pajamas, I was going to talk about the fact that Sobek and Scuffed were positioned on that high ground, because the disengage is either into a tiny tunnel where you can get pinched off or onto the low ground. Honestly, I understand wanting to hold close, but do not make your supports hold that far forward. Do it for a little bit, get off, and go to the optimal positioning, because you just got your supports cut out and deleted, and it was because you wanted to hold train with a Brig on a combo.
Yeah, nothing doing there for that combination. Doom's up to 88% on the Pulse Bomb. Meanwhile, Scissor 77% to a duplication, plus Wob almost to an EMP as well. That EMP could change everything. There is a great Bionate onto Strider. There's an EMP onto Wob, but there's 2 of them only going to be hacked, and both of them are going to stay alive somehow, some way. Rally is up for Sobek, or rather, not for Sobek, for Jolik, I should say, who's going to try to make a difference here, but the Pulse Bomb lands onto Chronic, so you're down to a 4v4 situation, but that means one of the supports is gone. Scissor's going to make sure both of your supports are gone, and no healing coming up here for Timeless, as Pirates in Pajamas in favor for right now. Nanoboost from Z-Man onto Strider, and it's going to be a lot of damage being poured out. Primal Rage just to kind of contest the point here, especially on the Winston of Couple, but they have to back all the way up. It's just Couple left to go on the point. No more healers either. You have some healing maybe coming to that back, and actually Couple is still somehow staying alive. It's just a little bit of a poke damage out, but finally they get the pick, and Duplication also invested out for Scissors, but still the payload gets the first checkpoint. 2.5 left to go, and now the Ana gets stranded.
Oh, this is always painful.
Oh boy, sadness.
One thing I do want to talk about is Doomed. During the last fight, used Pulse Bomb, took down Chronic. It was a clean stick. Looks like also Doomed is asking for a pause. Technical difficulties, they happen, but also Doomed is at 52% ult charge, all ready for another Pulse Bomb. despite the disparity when it comes to, like, you know, overall quick damage output and the squishiness of Tracer versus Sojourn, it seems like Doomed is more than comfortable going toe-to-toe with Chronic, and so long as Doomed can keep doing that, but doing it earlier on so that the rest of his team is alive, it definitely can help stabilize these engages that are happening and just, you know, sending Chronic back to respawn.
Well, we go back into the game now as both teams are ready to play, but who's not ready is Doom. Doom actually gets the shot of the secondary fire from Chronic, so sends him back to the spawn room right away with 3 minutes and 40. This is plenty of time as well. And even if you're getting EMPs off, even if you're getting a pulse bomb off, this is just a lot of damage to your backline, and they're just diving this really well for Pirates in Pyjamas right now.
The other thing to think about is that we did see that EMP go off from Wub, and it was a really quick EMP too. But EMP in itself, unless everyone already has the pre-fight target determined, or there's a follow-up ultimate, is kind of null and void in that instance. So it's really important to understand how you're going to use it and what you need to do in those instances. And we see Sobek take out 2.
Wow.
But Scissors is going to take them down shortly thereafter. Doomed finds the stick onto Strider this time, and Wub finds the final cleanup. Like I said, Doomed is doing a lot of work on this Tracer and finding these pulse bombs very early and on great targets.
Credit Sobek there too for 2 kills, because that fight looked all in favor of the Pirates, but Timeless instead looking like they want to put up a fit. Oh no!
Someone didn't call that Sojourn had rail.
Yeah, somebody didn't call it, but now Sojourn has the overclock ready to go if they want to make a difference in this fight. Nobody pushing the payload just yet for right now. They still keep advancing this one on forward. Scuffs has an auto boost available to them. Strider now the duplication as well. Chronic has a Primal Rage available on the duplication, down to about 100 health left to go and about 5 seconds left on this duplication. Probably won't use it. Track falls down to the final second, but the payload still advances forward. Pirates in Pyjamas with 3 ultimates coming up on the 4th with the Nano Boost. Timeless sitting at 2 right now, maybe even a 3rd with Primal Rage, but Wub, EMP is out, and there's the rally, but it gets captured out by the EMP. What unfortunate timing from Jolik to pop that, and now with the sleep on the couple, but gets woken up because of the disruption shot. Couple falls oh so low. What a Bionade on the couple, but has to proc the Bionade right away, and now Chronic wants to go off. Chronic has found a second, looking for a little bit more, but 2 kills onto both of the DPSs gives Pirates in Pyjamas another 90 seconds.
The EMP that came out from Wub there was nicely done, especially with the Kuffa coming in, realizing that Jolik is a sitting duck, drops down the bubble, cuts off the healing, and we do see the Brigitte go down, but the issue is that everyone else was so spread out. You used cooldowns to engage on the point where no one else has, so the engages just drop down from the offensive side, and then has cooldowns to get disengaged, stabilize, and control the point. Unfortunately, not the best execution, but it was what they had to do to kind of buy extra time. We're sub 3 minutes now. Sobek goes down, Scuffs goes down, both supports down very early. Not anything any Overwatch team wants to deal with trying to control time here.
Yep, and well, time in the bank, 2.5 minutes left to go. Plenty of time for Pirates in Pyjamas to complete this map, to go again another 3 points like they did back on Midtown. So now it's going to be a reset here. Payload into the home stretch in the final few meters that you can see, top of your screen, but now they're just trying to push right in. Pulse bomb available for Scissors, trying to be a little bit sneaky with it. Tracer retracer battle. Going to drop right out for right now, but it's going to be Doomed finding him for just a little while. Pulse bomb still available to them. Scissors decides not to use it for right now, maybe chasing down the rest of the team to find where this Ana Brigitte is. But the Ana Brigitte are trying to split up right now, as this Brigitte now having to pop on the rally. Sobek needing to stay alive for right now. Actually, it's a Kiriko, excuse me. The Primal Rage available now, also a Pulse Bomb. Scissors falls also low, needing to recall there right away. Rally's also being popped by Jolik. The later Rally might win this one. Pulse Bomb is stuck onto Sobek, and Sobek goes down in a heap. It's only the Kiriko left to go. No Suzu to protect that either from the Pulse Bomb. And now Scuffed and Sobek, you were talking about it, when both supports go down. Not a good thing. Doom is able to find Z-Man, is able to find Chronic, and uses the EMP to try to find a little bit more, but Wub is now gone from that fact, so the EMP goes a little bit all for nothing here. Scissors and Jolik trying to bring this all the way back. A back and forth fight still going on, but Doom trying to put this in their hands as well with 1:24 left to go. Strider just going out the door, and it's going to reset with the rest of the team.
If your supports are dying first, you really got to ask why. Is it a positioning difference? Is it a cooldown difference? Or is it just you're getting outplayed? And honestly, I think it's coming down to perhaps Scuffed and Sobek don't have as much time on the Ana Brigitte, because I'm seeing them split up a lot. And traditionally, you want your Ana Brig stacked together, and they need to be calming when they're not, because Brig needs the healing from Ana to stay alive. Ana needs protection from break to stay alive. So instead, we swapped over to Kiniko Lucio for Timeless, which seems to be working in their favor. So I'm wondering why they didn't do this from the beginning.
Yep, well, now it's working out. Kluffa and Doom working out very well right now. It's actually putting on the nano boost. No,
Wait,
no,
they see nines!
They see nines! Oh, no! Oh, my goodness! What?
God.
I didn't even notice that, but they see 9. My, oh, my! Pirates in Pyjamas completing the map. Digo Uno dos Adios, but my, oh, my, what a way to do it on Route 66, a C9. And with 43 seconds left on the clock, Timeless has to be shaking their heads as to why that happened. They were pushed so far forward. But a C9 for the Pirates gives them 43 seconds still left in the time bank. Oh my goodness.
Oof, that's gotta sting.
Oh no.
A moment of silence for the mentals. Yikes.
That's wow. I cannot believe that. That fight was, you were saying it looked to start to go in favor of Timeless, but
I called
wow.
it too soon, and probably, I mean, you've grinded some Overwatch ranked. I know you have been. I definitely think the audio cues, I even have sound effects cranked up to high heaven in Overwatch. For when the payload is like that close to the objective, the audio cues that Overwatch 1 used to give versus Overwatch 2, they seem to be quieter in Overwatch 2. So I'm seeing a lot more C9s than I used to in the past, and I think that could be playing into it. Granted, yes, there's a bar in the middle of the screen up here, but when you're playing, you looking up here is not as frequent as you trying to look at the targets that are in front of you. Yeah, it's tragic that you full comp swap to 5-man dive, or for that, last fight, but didn't designate someone as being a payload watcher.
And wow, I mean, you just had to stay on there, but unfortunately, if you stayed on there right now, I mean, it was going to be Pirates just pushing you up, but I mean, gee, I did not expect to see 9. That was the last thing on my list, especially when Timeless was just so far forward, thinking that they had their composition right, they had enough damage on them as well, but I mean, that was not on my bingo card. C9 was not on my bingo card for that.
It was not on mine either, but I guess when we make our next one, C9 needs to be in there just in case. It's been a minute since I've seen a C9, but,
oh, yeah.
They happen all the time. Say la vie, keep going. Oh, well, they're sub 1 minute. It's better than them having more than a minute on the clock because it makes overtime just a little bit easier, and your goal now is, finish. You don't have to finish with time on the clock because the other team is sub 1 minute. Guaranteed, yes, if you finish at 0, that means the 58-second advantage means they get almost 2 minutes. But when it comes to Route 66, it takes a little bit longer than the 45-second mark to finish a fight just because of, the way the spawns work. So, honestly, it's better than nothing.
Yep, better than nothing indeed. But again, I mean, just the just absolutely shattering expectations there for that C9. Looks like one of the players did disconnect for a little while. That would be Doom. So we're going to take just a short pause here to see if they can get reconnected. Meanwhile, I'm going to see if we can go to the live scores going on right now. In fact, there's some good games going on. Amplify and Rift live right now. Dragon Dance and O3 Splash also going live right now in some of the other streams. Amplify right now up 1-0 on Rift. In fact, there's your scores lines right there. 3 games going off stream right now. Good Boys taking on Wisp. That game, in fact, right now, Good Boy sitting at the 6th position. You see Wisp at the 4th. So again, a great matchup we only wish we could see right now. But that game going on. Afterlife and Worldwide. Worldwide getting their first win there. They're 1-4. And they're playing right now. And the other game that we do not have a score for, Strix and Saints. Strix right now sitting at the 7. Saints sitting at the 3. So you start to look at standings after as we get halfway through. Of course, top 8 get in to the playoffs here for the Summer Series. Meanwhile, it looks like the pause is done and we are ready to go now for this attack side. Meanwhile, Timeless bringing out the Junkrats.
I'm all good here for some Jay Silly. If I'm on Timeless's squad, Doom has been applying a lot of pressure and doing a great job. Unfortunately, I just cast a curse to you, Doom. If you want to completely blame that death on me, I fully take responsibility. I like the Jay Silly play. Change it up, make it a little different. And it looks like but the Moira Lucio, I'm here for it. I like what Pirates in Pyjamas is bringing out here. It's chaos, and it plays very well into the overstaying welcome playstyle of Timeless like we saw in their first defense. Timeless stayed way too far forward for far too long, and they can fall into that trap again. However, Strider and Z-Man gonna go down first. Perhaps this was just a close hold attempt, but judging by the fact that no one has swapped over, they anticipated losing that fight and were posted up to take another fight early on. Here's where I start to get concerned, though, is this Brig Ana combo we have coming off from Timeless. Yes, it's great, but Brig needs to rely on healing from Ana. Ana needs to rely on protection from Brig. This is a very scary comp to run in as an Ana, and Brig is taking a very far forward position. I'm very concerned for Scuff's survivability.
Well, they're going to back up for a little while. They see the Summer in their backline. Summer's going to use the Translocator to go away. Chronic stays alive for right now. He needs to find at least a shot there, and Z-Man goes down where they can even build up anything. So this is a go button here.
Go
for
Wub,
Timeless
go!
right now. They're going to have to go. Wub gets a shot onto Strider. And again, if the go button was any bigger, I mean, I don't know. The go button has to be wide open right now for Timeless, who in fact has 3 ultimates, looking for a 4th, maybe even a 5th coming up here if they want to recontest this. Pirates and Pyjamas having nothing, and in fact, they lose Jolik. They lose Scissors in the backline with a Pulse Bomb. Now, the only person that can touch would be Chronic, but Chronic decides to back away. It'll be another 2.5 minutes coming up to Timeless.
And for this next fight, we're going to have EMP, Pulse Bomb. We can basically say that Moira's going to have Co, so Z-Man, they should have Coalescence. Strider will have Annihilation.
Oh.
Timeless, though, early engage with Dragons.
Oh, what an
EMP! Chronic deletes themselves in the process, though. Wub goes down. Doom still with Pulse Bomb. Finds 2. Finds the health pack. Doesn't need... Well, Scissors finds the health pack. Doesn't even need to use recall. Uses it a little bit later. Strider goes down. Scuffed is down. And it looks like that is going to be another fight win for Timeless.
Yeah, so Timeless finding a rhythm now here. In fact, Scissors using that Pulse Bomb early, but had 3 kills, but wasn't enough to really stop the payload. But in fact, what that does do is kind of slow them down just a little bit before they come in. Now, we've got Chronic on the Soldier instead of the Sombra, so maybe this overclock, maybe it makes a difference with the Soldier, and Kuffa having to use the Primal Rage, and in fact, trap everybody and forces Jolik to use the Sound Barrier, but it doesn't hit Strider. Strider now with the Annihilation, having to use that. Doomed with the Pulse Bomb in the back line. Everybody falling oh so low, and now Timeless in a great rhythm here is able to find 2 picks. And in fact, all that's left is Jolik in your backline. That Sound Barrier goes for nothing, Coalescence for nothing, Annihilation for nothing, and Timeless will advance on.
Sobek got a pop rally, Annihilation going off in front of him, and just got a point and laugh. Ana could do as much damage as possible because, you know, Annihilation doesn't go through shield, and you just held the shield up, Sobek, and like I said earlier, you play Brig, it's a bit boring, but that's the name of the game sometimes.
Yep, so unfortunately, Pirates and Pyjamas having to back off for right now. Timeless still with plenty of time, 3 minutes left to go. Scissors already having to use the recall with so much damage there. Dragon Strike in this small room doesn't find a single thing, but it's able to force the team off for a little while. Sobek with a shield bash onto Scissors. Well done on that dive combination there, as a lot more teams start to fall, and it is an entire team wipe while they get 90 seconds on the bank. What a team wipe from Timeless.
It was all green. That was incredible. I don't know what they did between the last 2 rounds. Maybe the coach came in the comms and said, yo, clean it up. They're doing much better than what we saw. Perhaps Route 66 was, you know, the ace in the hole for them. Offensively, they're performing very well. And it looks like they're starting to do what Pirates and Pyjamas was doing to them, which is catching out the supports early on.
Nano Boost goes from Scuffed onto Kuffa right now. That may not result in a fight win, though, because Chronic found a secondary railgun shot onto Doomed in your backline. Scissors falling oh so low, but is able to return back to the rest of the support line, and now they might have a fight win on their hands. Sobek falls oh so low. Pirates and Pyjamas not having to use anything, but Scuff using that Nano Boost could be a very, very early use of that ultimate.
You can build it fast, in theory.
In theory, but that payload is very close.
Yes. There's no way we're gonna have 2 C9s, okay? So they've got some time here, I believe on. I believe in them. But Doom has another Pulse Bomb.
Oh, goes a little bit wide. Yep.
First in a while from Doom that we've seen not actually stick, but is contesting payload and pushing it forward. Has 0 pressure on them. Dragons comes out, Primal comes out. There's a lot. This is where Overwatch becomes a little overstimulating. Wub goes down to Scissors, and Brigitte is going to be forced to pop rally to keep the backline alive.
They're forced to use the rally at the same time. That's not a bad ultimate to use because Sobek's already used theirs, so it's not too bad. And now the rest of the team starts to fall here for Pirates and Pyjamas. But point out here, Scissors has the Pulse Bomb available. Strider with the Primal Rage as well. And now Pirates and Pyjama winning that, but they still have about 1.5 minutes left to cover here if they want to win the time bank game or just win this one in general. Strider gets bionated out, which means Strider has to back up right away to the rest of the team. Scissors, though, on this sneaky flank. Where's the team? Knows where the Brigitte is, knows where the stick is. Sticks onto the Brigitte, and Scissors finds it. So now it's a push in. Green light is on. And it's not in the favor of Timeless this time. It's in favor of Pirates in Pyjamas, and they can do nothing about it. Scissors finds a third, looking for a little bit more damage. But what a stick and what a start here. Pirates in Pyjamas only now having a minute left to cover before they get the advantage in the time bank.
Jolik is going on an adventure.
That's quite the adventure. Well, they get right back with the rest of the team, though. So, I mean, still good positioning here. Keeps them up top right now. Now everybody's trying to advance into that high ground. Nano boost almost available for Scuff. He's probably going to throw that onto the Winston. But we'll see. Scuff feeling oh so much pressure right now. And now the Primal Rage is out. Sobek able to find a whip shot onto Scissors. This could be a fight you want now with no more flanking Tracer in your back line. Primal Rage is having to be popped by Strider. And now Scuff falling down. Rather still has a Nano boost available. Now Cuffa jumps into the back line. A lot of damage being done by the Tesla Cannon, and now it's going to be Chronic that has to carry this fight the rest of the way. Chronic's been able to carry, but it's not going to happen this time. It is a team wipe, and it's going to be no more chances here for Pirates in Pyjamas to even contest that. Brigida doesn't make it on time, and the difference now, 12 seconds as Timeless goes Uno Dos Adios, completing in Route 66, but 12-second difference as we head to our first ever second round of attacks.
I'm here for it. I'm sad that I had to come off the back of a C9 a little bit. But it's alright. It's only a 12-second differential in this instance. So, you know, it's fair. Also, it's mechanics, so of course it's fair.
Of course it's fair. But for Timeless, it seemed like they got into a rhythm a little bit towards the beginning part of that their attack side, and then kind of fell off towards the end, but finally able to find a way to get through because of all the ultimates, especially Cuffa getting that nano boost in the back line, and Z-Man not being able to do anything about it. So now we head in to the second round. I mean, what's your thought process here going in for Pirates in Pyjamas? Because, I mean, really, even if it's a 12-second differential, that means you just got to go a little bit faster.
I think Pirates in Pyjamas, I mean, right now, they're ahead of the series. You truthfully, at this point, play your game, play to your strengths. We have seen Timeless mess up in instances where they're staying too long in open positionings. They are forcing fights in areas where their supports are going to be easily taken care of. If Timeless identifies these mistakes that they're making and cleans them up, this could be a very even, or possibly even favoring Timeless more because they're producing less mistakes. But Pirates in Pyjamas, because they like to play for that long game, has the opportunity and the vision to see these mistakes and to abuse it. It took a little bit of time on first attack for Scissors to figure out the supports were really far forward, and once they saw that, deleted them. Second fight, started really heavily favoring their squad. And we see that they came out, didn't like the composition, swapped it up, went on Ball. Ball goes through slams, but it wasn't time with Scissors, so the comp swap happened. You gotta get your rhythm back. Strider goes down. Similar experience to what we've seen in the past. Sobek goes down as well to Scissors, as does Wub.
Oh, Scissors. Yep, Scissors is able to find 2 picks in the back line. Recall is out there. Doom was stuck for a little while, but is able to find a recall out. But Scissors finding their way to get 2 picks is huge for them. Finding a third as well. And Spawn Room still in favor of Pirates in Pyjamas, meaning that this is going to be a good push for them. So Scissors coming up kind of clutch there with 3 on the fight, and now with only 10 seconds left to go, Timeless has to fight back.
Yeah, it's just true. Right now we have on a position back near payload, as is Chronic, which makes sense because our second support is not there, so someone has to protect Z-Man, or otherwise they could get caught out very easily. Echo's going to be playing for Bridge. Ball goes deep into the backline and slams down. We've given up the space on top of the gas station. This seems to be a very normal thing for Strider. They're cool under pressure, as in they're cool getting every single cooldown in the game forced onto them. It does open up the field for their team, though, because everything was dedicated to killing Ball. There's nothing else left. So one gets a pick, but then 3 others go in favor of Pirates.
Yeah, so 2 picks there for Timeless, but Pirates in Pyjamas get the majority of it. Nano Boost is going to be used, and Nano Boost is going to be, I believe, on Scissors, but good focus being down onto Scuff. And so, really, they use the Nano Boost. Scissors still has the duplicate available. There is no time left on this bank. Now, Cuffa maybe just trying to get one more touch in, seeing if they can contest this right away, because the spawn room's now pretty much equal on either side. It's going to be the Echo providing a little bit of force back here, and they're not even going to touch the point. And in fact, do get the checkpoint, which is huge for them. No more time added. Somebody's got to stay on the entire way. Duplicate available still for Scissors here. Ultimate, none in turn for Timeless, except for a Dragon Strike coming up in just a couple of moments. So the duplicate still available, nothing doing in terms for ultimates for the rest of the way. Strider just absolutely breaking on the back line right now, just making sure that they have a lot of pressure. Don't C9 this time around. No, there's a pause. Oh my goodness, there's a pause in the middle of everything here.
Hang on, I thought the rule was pauses I need to check the rulebook, but traditionally pauses are only allowed after a fight is concluded. So if Doom, you're having PC problems, bub, I think you gotta learn to ride it out a little bit longer. Might be getting
Whoa.
ping diffed.
Might be getting a little bit of ping, but that's a crucial moment because you saw the overtime clock. That overtime clock, I believe, is in the middle of that overtime right now. Boss is going to come out, and the overtime clock still happens. It's still contested and almost blown away entirely. Strider is bionated for a little while. It will slam down. Doom is able to find a kill into Jolik. Trades that out right away, though, for Scissors at the very least. But now the fight still continues on. Looking to be more green than white right now. Scissors forced to use the Doom kit, but is backed out for a couple of moments. As now it's just the landmines all over the floor here. Strider trying to find their way out, but this primal rage keeping them in. And now Kuffa and Doom finding picks. The overclock is a little too late, but still, Pirates in Pajamas, not a bad push if you're a minute and only have a minute left to go on the clock. But the problem is, now if Timeless plays their cards right and they force them back with only a fight left to go, if those doors open, it's pretty much it's pretty much that game point right there, and we're headed to 4. But Timeless still have a tough challenge with the minute 12.
That 12 could be a huge deal. It is roughly only a third of a fight, but theoretically speaking, if the side of Pirates in Pajamas do not choose to hold close like we've seen Timeless do, it can be that 12 seconds could be all just free payload space while Pirates is waiting for the payload around the first corner. It could, and you know, honestly, yeah, you may not be getting a lot of ult charge, but it definitely can be an advantage because you're getting space for free.
Could be, but for Pirates in Pajamas right now, so much pressure with that Echo right now that Timeless really can't do anything about it. And now Pirates in Pajamas really want to run this composition yet again with the Echo and the Sojourn, especially when that Echo has so much free air. Only problem, no pocket for Scissors. So if Scissors finds a way to get picks, which they have been doing, Scissors is going to make a lot of impact, especially without needing a pocket heal. The only thing you could say, I guess, is the Brigida for right now. But we'll get to see somebody calling for a pause, but I think there might have been a limit on that anyways. Timeless.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, I think Kuffa hasn't picked yet, which could be huge for them.
And
so
it looks like Pummy is also trying to designate that Timeless is allowed to use one of their pauses, because I think Kuffa might have DC'd. This is the...
No, Kuffa's back in the game now. Well, Kuffa's back in the game now, so this could be a little okay. This could be better, but that time bank wasted a little bit could be very worrisome. And in fact, Kuffa's already down 17%, but Kuffa comes right back in, jumps in, and says 2 kills already. And so they guess the pause doesn't matter?
I don't know.
I don't know what's going on, I'm going to be honest.
I don't either, but y'all need to remember that everyone can see the chat, so be nice.
Yes, be nice with each other right now, but I guess we can always go back into this later. I mean, yes, Timeless has used 3 pauses already from my count, so I don't know if there's a rule on that. We'll figure that out later on. But anyways, trying to dive right back in. 15 seconds left to go, down to about 10 now. They have the payload still moving. Only problem, you got to keep somebody on the payload the entire time, which is their focus right now. Scissors 60% to an ultimate. Wub almost having that Dragon Strike available. In fact, 90% on the way. So one more shot gets it to them. And now just trying to find a way to win out this fight. There's the shot. There's the Dragon Strike available, but won't be able to use it. Chronic finds the headshot. This could very well be it. Strider and Chronic both getting their kills, and now it's no hope left to go. It's only Doomed. It's only Scuff left to go. Doomed misses the pulse bomb off wide. The overtime clock starts to bleed. It's just the Tracer left, and the Tracer is gone. Duplication just for safety features. But other than that, the Pirates in Pajamas able to bring out the broom, and we'll move on to a 5-1 record. 3-0, the final score.
And it's going to be Chronic coming in with the play of the game on Sojourn. And it does look like this was the final fight here in overtime. Winston jumps up and unfortunately goes right back down. And the slide through to delete a couple extra people. Chronic, you are very scary. And hats off to you. Nicely done. With that being said, I think people just need to remember at the end of the day how many pauses you get and when you're allowed to use them. If you're having internet issues, it might be time to pull in a sub so that you can use pauses advantageously rather than just because you're DCing from the game.
Yep, I mean, just an unfortunate thing as well for Timeless there. Had used up all their time, had used up all their pauses. But I guess if there was a pause rule for the numbers, but for Timeless though, we couldn't find a rhythm in the end. Had the chance, but I think that Echo was just a little bit too much pressure onto just a little bit too much pressure onto the team, especially when they were getting dove on all over the place. So right now, as it stands, for Timeless, they will move down to a 3-3 record. Meanwhile, for Pirates in Pajamas moving up to a 5-1 record. You can see on the standings right now. Those are the only 2 games that we know of that have been completed. 2 more games going on our streams right now and part of the Timeless Broadcast Project. Dragon Dance and O3 Splash right now. O3 Splash having a 2-0 lead, looking to see if they can get up to a 6-0 record. And basically almost guaranteeing themselves in. Would need maybe 1 or 2 more wins to get up there. Meanwhile, the only other live game that we have that we know of, Amplify and Rift right now. Amplify just getting up, and Amplify up 2-0 in that series, meaning that Amplify a win there would get them to 2-4, and if Strix loses, would be more or less a little bit more secure in the top 8 standings. But other than that, still plenty of games left to go. Other matches that are going on right now. Actually, more scores have been just updated. Strix and Saints right now. Strix and Saints at a 1-1 tie in their matchup. Afterlife and Worldwide sitting at a 2-0 scoreline, and Afterlife really wanting that win there because Afterlife sitting tied for 8th. Would love to split up with Amplify, but would need a big win there. And then Good Boys versus Wisp going on right now. Wisp up 1-0, so the 4 seed, which would be the 4 seed right now, up in the 5 seed. Good Boys actually at number 5 right now, thanks to Timeless's loss. So we'll see how that pans out in the end, depending on the map differential. So plenty of games and actions going on right now. In fact, this was just day number 1 of action right now. I mean, plenty to talk about later on. Some of the other games coming up for the NA side at the very least. For Pirates in Pajamas, it's coming up tomorrow. 2 more matches for them. You're looking at games against Dragon Dance as well as Strix. Those will be right here on the Pirates in Pajamas Overwatch page on the Twitch. But you have Dragon Dance. Dragon Dance looking like they might fall down here in a little while. Meanwhile, for Strix, another interesting matchup for them. But Strix looking at a 2-3 record, almost at a 2-4. Maybe we'll see how their matchup goes. But for Pirates in Pajamas, maybe a little bit more comfortable instead of a little bit more up there for right now. But again, their schedule gets much tougher as we go down along the line. And I'm saying
the
much tougher
honesty
now.
comes out.
The honesty finally comes out. Yes, the much tougher schedule down the line. Meanwhile, for Timeless, their schedule also getting nitty gritty as well, but they get a little bit easier matchups, if you will. Only questionable one would be that Good Boys matchup down in round number 11, which could very well shake up the standings, in fact. But again, still plenty of more matches left to go as well. There's still tomorrow plenty of matches. In fact, on the Timeless Broadcast Project, still plenty of things. In fact, going to Europe, X-Oblivion will have their matchups, in fact, against Team Peps and YS Pitbull Storm. And if you're looking at the standings there for the NA, it's for EU, excuse me, very, very interesting. Everything pretty much closer. But you're looking at Team Peps versus YS Pitbull Storm for X-Oblivion. Meanwhile, Sheer Cold sitting at a 2-4 record right now. They'll play against as well. 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, I believe, followed by Twisted Minds at 1:30. So you don't want to miss out on that. So plenty of action left to go here, and a big day of action left to go on Tuesday. Check out the other streams going on as well. But we'll start to wrap things up here because, I mean, Nerdy, one more word here for you. I mean, what a match, what a series that was. 2 series that was for Pirates in Pajamas. Final thoughts from you, at least for Pirates in Pajamas moving forward.
Any team that is going to be going up against them, be careful of your pathing and watch out for the hit scan. Other than that, I think teams need to be more willing to make composition swaps to play to their strengths rather than play to what's supposed to be the rock, paper, scissors game. Because when we saw Timeless, yes, it was a C9. But when they went Lucio, Kiriko, those supports had, like, the synergy was there. They were able to all keep up and go together with one another. And it played very heavily into how, I believe, just based off of what we saw, they preferred to play. With that being said, at the end of the day, I'm not the players. I'm just the caster who got to watch and see what happened. But that Lucio Kiriko was, of course, very gorgeous to watch. Unfortunately, I'm pretty sure someone clipped it. We ended up yelling that there was a C9 in that instance.
Yep.
But nonetheless, that composition, it was working.
Yeah.
Why would you not run that? I don't know.
Well, we'll see what Timeless does in the future, but again, that's for future games. Still 5 more rounds left to go for them to see if they can make a run towards the top. Meanwhile, still Ultra Splash at the top, but it is Pirates in Pyjamas that line up with a 5-1 record, still towards the top of the board, inside of the top 3, looking to see if they can secure their spots coming up tomorrow, maybe to see if they can get into the top 8 pretty much with ease. Thanks to everybody alongside of our observers, and our producer for this stream is Solomon. Thank you very much for your good work, and for my partner Nerdy Bird, we thank you for watching this session of Pirates in Pyjamas, as well as the Overwatch Contenders Summer Series. Until tomorrow, new casters, new production crew for you, but we'll see you tomorrow right here on the Pirates in Pyjamas stream. So until next time, take care, everybody.